Let us now look at example 3. In this question, we are told that a rectangle has a perimeter of 36 cm. We are also told that the length of the longest side of the rectangle is x. So we are going to indicate on this diagram here that the length is x cm on both sides. With this, we'll label the unknown breadths with a question mark on both sides. In question A, it says, given that the length of the rectangle is x cm, find an expression in terms of x for the breadth of the rectangle. So we know that 2 lengths plus 2 breadths would equate to 36 cm, which is the perimeter of the rectangle. Working this out, if we move 2x to the right hand side, remember to change the sign. So now we have 2 times breadth is equals to 36 minus 2x. As such, the breadth can be denoted with 36 minus 2x divided by 2, which when simplified gives us 18 minus x. In part B, we are also given that the area of the rectangle is 80 cm squared. And the question wants us to form an equation in terms of x based on these new facts that we have received. We know that the area is given by the length times the breadth. The length is denoted by x, whereas the breadth is denoted by 18 minus x, as we have found in part A. Hence, by multiplying these two terms together, we'll equate it to 80, which is the area. In part C, we want to solve the equation that we have gotten in part B to find the length of the longer side of the rectangle. Let us first copy down the equation that we have. First, we'll have to expand the left-hand side to get 18x minus x squared. Next, we want to make one side to be equal to 0. Hence, I'll move my 18x and negative x squared to the right-hand side. Once again, remember to change the sign when you move your terms. Note that I've moved my x squared, my negative x squared and my 18x to the right-hand side instead of moving my 80 over to the left so that I can keep the coefficient of my x squared positive. Now that we have this quadratic equation, we want to factorize it. So when we factorize, do take note of this last term here. We have a negative 18x which we want to achieve. Hence, we need to break 80 down into 2 negative factors. So with this, we have x minus 10 multiplied by x minus 8, which will give us 0. If you do not want to use the cross method, you can use the multiplication frame as well. In our next step, we will state that x minus 10 is equals to 0 or x minus 8 equals to 0. Remember to write the word or in the middle of the two possible solutions. This is to indicate that both are possibilities. So with this, we'll have x equals to 10 or x equals to 8. Now, we are not done with this question yet. We need to put it back into the context of this question and check if these answers are valid for this question. So continuing from our previous part, we'll have x equals to 10 or x equals to 8. If 10 is the length, which is the longer side of the rectangle, we'll calculate the breadth of the rectangle to be 18 minus 10, which is equals to 8 cm. This calculation is valid because the length is longer than the breadth. Now let's look at x equals to 8. If x equals to 8 is the length, which is the longer side, we will calculate the breadth of the rectangle to be 18 minus 8, which is 10 cm. This does not make sense because now the breadth is longer than the length, which is incorrect. Hence, we have to reject this answer. Oops, sorry. So to reject this answer, we'll indicate it at the bottom, below x equals to 8. With this, our answer is 10 cm for the length of the rectangle. With this, please try examples 4 and 5.